Hey, I'm Myles, and this is how I built 5 sources of income that generate me over $68,000 per month. And this video is definitely inspired by Graham Stevens' excellent video, which you should check out if you haven't already. So I remember the first time that I got a full-time job, and I think I was 22, 23 years old, and I was this young kid feeling like I was a hotshot on top of the world with this job. Since then, a lot of time has passed, and I've learned a few things. I started a couple of businesses, a few failed, and I've definitely left that dead-end job behind as well. It's been crazy to look back on that entire journey to financial freedom over the last couple of years and put all of those moments into one big long sequence. Getting my first paycheck in that day job, walking out of that job on my last day ever after I quit, making my first $20 online, making my first $1 million online, and then starting this YouTube channel and getting to 100 subscribers, 1,000 subscribers, and then 10,000 subscribers. I feel like I owe a lot to the Nomad family. That's you guys, and I know some of you have been with me for almost a year and a half since I started, and you guys have been a part of this journey alongside me too. So in today's video, I wanted to bring that back and share honestly with you about the 5 income sources that I've built. So my goal with the video is to be super helpful because I'm going to explain exactly how much I make from everything, how I built those income sources up, what I did and what I avoided, what worked, what didn't work. And don't worry too much about those end numbers either. I want you to focus on the processes, the mindset, and the principles that I use to get to where I am now. And I don't know about you, but I personally find these type of videos really encouraging and uplifting because I can see that if at least somebody has done it and they're nothing special, you know, they're just an average person, then if they can do it, then maybe so can I. Because honestly, when I was younger, I didn't really have anyone around me to show that it was real and achievable and possible, and that it wasn't just, you know, superhuman people on the news and celebrities that you'd see doing this. Real people can do it too. And I know as well, there's like that little curiosity aspect of trying to find out what people are making. You know, it's like peeking behind that curtain to see something a little bit dirty. We have a word in Australia for that. It's called being a sticky beak. But that's okay. So if you're curious about my numbers across all of my income sources, here's your answer, you little sticky beak. And of course, if you appreciate videos like this, all I ask is that you smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and click the notification bell so that you get more videos just like this as they come out. Now, let's start with my first income source. So you probably guessed it by what my channel is about, but the first one is Amazon FBA. But hold on, I know you're thinking, but Myles, you teach about selling on Amazon, and 99% of people who teach about selling on Amazon make way more money teaching about how to sell on Amazon than they do actually selling on Amazon. That was really hard to say. But the truth is, Amazon is still my largest income source. My business does a little bit over $2 million a year between our accounts. And at the end of the day, after all is said and done, as net profit, I walk away with a little bit over $400,000 per year into my pocket. Now, my business is seasonal, so we're not, you know, making that much every month. It's not steady income. It goes up and down a lot, but when you smooth it out, that's what I make at the end of the day. And I can tell you very honestly that back in my past life as an engineer, when I was sitting in my crappy, you know, fluorescent lit office in my bright orange, high visibility uniform, this is not something that I would ever think that I would be sitting here sharing with somebody on the internet. I actually always thought that I would be tied with a chain to that career. And that if I ever got the chance to pursue my dreams, which were to travel, to go on adventures, to live life to the fullest, that vibrant, fun part of life would be sandwiched in between all of this crappy work that I didn't enjoy. You know, like a door that's almost closed and you can just see that sort of little ray of light sneaking through. That's what I thought it would be like. Or alternatively, I thought maybe I could save up just enough money to be able to do that and then quit the job. And, you know, I didn't know about online income. So I figured in that case, I'd probably just be poor forever. But the fact is that it did happen. I was able to quit and I was able to start this Amazon business. And as a result, my life has changed completely. And it's so funny because you know that question that people ask or you get asked in job interviews where it's like, what's your 5-year plan? Or what's your 10-year plan? Or what's your 20-year plan? Where do you want to be in 10 or 20 years? When I was working as an engineer and I hadn't started an online business, I never had an answer for that. And if somebody asked me that question, I would always have to look down at the ground a little bit and lie, make up some pre-prepared answer that I knew was just bullcrap. But since starting this Amazon business, my first source of income, I suddenly have a much better and much more honest and natural response to that question. The fact is that I have no idea who I'm going to be or where I'm going to be or what I'm doing in 5 years, 10 years, or 20 years from now. I don't know if it's going to involve selling on Amazon or what it may be, but here's the beautiful thing. Selling on Amazon has taught me how to start an online business. It's taught me that it is possible to scale a business from nothing to millions of dollars in less than 2 years. It's taught me that you don't have to be thinking 10 years in advance in terms of planning out this future that you'll actually enjoy because you can do it now. So realizing that has been really great. But in terms of income now, I think the best thing about an Amazon business is that aside from having this income coming in, if you decide to walk away from that Amazon business at the end of the day, you can sell it for a really big chunk of cash. Now, I definitely don't include this in my, net worth or my income or anything like that, that future hypothetical situation. But the fact is that that exit opportunity makes what is already a great, sometimes almost passive income source even better as an opportunity in the medium to long term. And if you're curious about what my day-to-day actually looks like, working and running this multi-million-dollar Amazon business, well, I actually have a video about that, which I will share with you here. So you can click on that and check that out. It's pretty passive at this point. I work a couple of hours a week and I've hired a couple of people to take care of the day-to-day operational stuff in the business. Now, that allows me to step back, to be able to look at the bigger picture, keep up to date with the Amazon industry and things as they change, and e-commerce in general, it always changes, so that I can see what strategies are working best and share them with you guys on this channel. And that leads me to my second source of income, which is going to be through this YouTube channel. Second source of income is my YouTube ad revenue. So this income source is of course the ads that you see interspersed either before, during, or after my videos on this channel. So the way that it works, just briefly, is that I get a certain percentage of the total ad spend and YouTube gets the other rest, obviously. I think it's 50%, but don't quote me on that. So the actual amount that I'm taking out of that definitely varies a lot from month to month. But on average, it's around about $2,300 per month. And this varies a lot between videos as well. Some make a lot, some make very little, some keep making money, and some are gone a week later. And before I started this channel, I'd heard about, this whole demonetization scandal and all of these creators complaining about how little you get paid on YouTube. But to be honest, knowing what I know now, I would be really silly to expect that this ad revenue would be my main source of income. And obviously it isn't my main source of income. I am lucky to have this channel in the make money online niche. And because we have so many people selling courses through ads, I actually get paid a lot per ad using the metric called CPM. Basically, that means that per each ad that gets displayed to you, my viewer, I'm probably going to make more money than someone else would in a channel about, let's say, cooking. So it's not a big source of income for me, but to be honest, I actually like this one a lot. And there was a period of time where I was checking it daily. Instead of like my Amazon sales, I was checking my YouTube ad revenue just to see whether it had gone up by, a couple of dollars over the previous day. I don't know why exactly, but it's really fun looking at it. I think because it's pretty passive at a baseline level. What that means is I could probably stop making videos today and in, let's say, 1 year or 2 years, still be making some of this ad revenue. It would definitely go down. I have no illusions about that. But in that regards, it is pretty passive in that I don't have to be working day to day to keep earning that income. And by the way, I played around with the numbers a little bit, and the amount that I make in ad revenue is approximately equal to the Australian minimum wage, or 1.17 times the US national minimum wage, as far as I can tell. And maybe that sounds crap, maybe that sounds good, but let's put it into a better perspective. I spent around about 300 hours making the videos to generate that income. That's planning, that's filming, that's editing, that's uploading. And for that 300 hours of effort, I got paid $27,000, or the $2,300 per month, like I said. And that equals $90 per hour. That's actually not too bad for a fun, creative process that most of the time I really enjoy doing. Not saying I'm not good at it, but I definitely like doing something a little bit more creative that makes me money at the same time. Overall, I'm bullish on starting a YouTube channel, but definitely don't expect, firstly, to be making this much money if you start your own channel and you have, the same amount of subscribers. Although in most other niches, your audience is much bigger, so maybe it balances out. But this is definitely not my main source of income. I wouldn't expect to be my main source of income. And you probably shouldn't too if you do go and start a YouTube channel. Let's talk about my next YouTube related income source. So number 3, that's affiliate income. So if you're not aware, affiliate marketing or affiliate income is basically like a referral service. This is where I recommend products or services to my audience, that's you, and in return, the providers of those products or services will actually pay me a commission in return for making the referral. So I do this on this channel in the form of links to services and software that I'm actually using in my own Amazon business. And normally I will put a discount link as well so that you can get it for a better price. And you can see that in this video if you scroll down, and definitely you'll see in other videos that I make, if I use a particular tool in that video, I will have a specific link to that tool in the description at the top. And I'll probably put a discount in the actual video as well. So I see this as a win-win because I get to share with you guys the real tools, the services that I'm actually using in my business, and you guys get maybe a discount, maybe you get to save some money, you get to know and trust which tools are the better ones and which ones to avoid. And then I get a little bit of a kickback and a bit of a commission as well. So how much do I make from affiliate marketing on this channel? Around about $1,600 per month. Now, I make a lot less than a lot of other people doing very similar things doing this. So don't think that this is a huge number. It can be very lucrative. But for me personally, I actively try and make this not a focus for a couple of reasons. Firstly, I personally place a lot of value in my audience. That's you. And that I know that trust and that loyalty, it takes a while to build up and you can very quickly destroy it. And even if you don't even destroy it by doing something shady, the fact is that a lot of people push things out there that I wouldn't be comfortable with doing myself in a way where they'll present it as the only opportunity or the best thing to do is go, follow this link. when it's really just an affiliate way of making money. I don't really agree with that. I think you should be upfront and genuine and honest about it. The other thing is that as you become an influencer and you build up an audience, you actually get lots and lots of requests for usually legit, usually completely fine, but sometimes you get random scammy services and software that want to pay you to promote their stuff. And to be honest, I can't be bothered sorting through all of the good from the bad, so I just say no as a rule unless I'm actually using it. Next, it actually kind of became a problem for me where I would be spending a not significant amount of my time, but a significant amount of my attention diving into these little, affiliate dashboards and checking to see whether I had $50 there or $50 there and changing payment details and trying to optimize for these little affiliate commissions. And even if it was not 50, it was $1,000 here or $1,000 there. I just realized that time and focus, and particularly the attention that I was spending on that, I could be using it to make so much more money elsewhere and in other avenues which I had more control over and which I was more invested in personally as well. And lastly, the stuff that I actually use personally changes pretty regularly as well. So I don't like the idea of locking myself into a partnership with just one, affiliate service. But it's passive, and the stuff that I do recommend, I, 100% stand by, and I enjoy recommending the software that I use to my audience, to you guys. So it's a nice chunk of change that I earn for doing something that I would be doing anyway. Okay, so I'm at around about, I think, $38,000 out of $68,000 per month. So where's the missing income coming from? Let's talk about my next YouTube related income source, and that is my FBA training program. So yeah, this is my primary financial reward for everything that I do on this channel. I gotta be honest, I was pretty scared when I first started thinking about doing this. And in fact, I was so scared that I didn't do it for a really long time. And I was kind of scared just for personal reasons. This is a big deal to me. I'm not naturally a presenter, and I'm not naturally a salesperson either. So I really had to get through a lot of sort of mental roadblocks to be able to get to this point where I could sell my information, my knowledge, my mentoring, my coaching, and all of that for, a not insignificant price. But eventually I did start to work up the courage. One of my main inspirations was definitely Tim Ferriss, but particularly something he got me onto, which was Kevin Kelly's 1,000 True Fans concept. And I'm going to read this out to you just so you understand where I was coming from. So he says, to be a successful creator, you don't need millions. You don't need millions of dollars or millions of customers, millions of clients or fans. To make a living as a craftsperson, photographer, musician, animator, app maker, entrepreneur, or inventor, you only need 1,000 true fans. And like I said, when I was younger, I never had any of these influencers to show me what this actually looked like. And so I was just so curious to get out there and try it for myself. And I've discovered that it's very true. I waited until I was already seeing a lot of success with Amazon FBA. And I'd been coaching people here and there, but nothing really scalable. My principles with starting the Amazon FBA Freedom Accelerator, which is my training program, were what was the most scalable way of actually helping to drive people to change their lives, but how could I deliver way more value than cost while still getting a good return for my time? Because I tried this with coaching one-on-one, doing phone calls, video calls, and it was nice, but to actually get a person to change, you had to put so much time in. And then I found I was repeating myself over and over as well. And I guess the last thing that I wanted, or the last principle, was a way to build up a community. But I mean, I don't have a Facebook group or anything for public use, and I'm generally a pretty private person. So I wanted some way of gating that community and just only letting people that I wanted to come in. And if I could do something that met all of those principles, it would be something that I was really proud of. So I worked up the courage and I did it. And I think it's been my biggest commitment to date. I spent hundreds of hours putting everything that I knew into this training package, not to mention the actual thousands of hours and dollars as well that I spent on Amazon with time and mistakes and whatnot to learn the stuff in the first place. So that's been really great. That's now paying off for me to the tune of around about $30,000 per month. So that is definitely nice. And if I compare it to my Amazon income, there are some things that I love about it and some things that I don't love. Firstly, it is definitely more engaging and I definitely enjoy it more. I really like teaching people and sharing what I've learned. In case you can't tell, it's something that I'm genuinely passionate about, based on these YouTube videos. I do love seeing change happening. It's really inspiring for me to be able to hear about and to see the transformations and just the impact that I can have on someone, whether it's in my personal life or whether it's through training or through YouTube, whatever it is. Speaking in terms of financials and income, which is what you're here for, what I like is that the profit is cash in my bank immediately. So with Amazon, there is an inventory cycle. So you put money in and the money doesn't come out as profit for a while. Let's say it's at least 3 months, maybe 6 months later, you're going to get that money back in, doubling your money. Whereas with information products or with YouTube, for example, it takes no money to start, just time. You can literally start with, your laptop and a microphone and your phone if you want. And then you got to put in the time, but there's no monetary risk. And then when the money comes out, like I said, it's profit straight into your bank. It really is crazy how little you need to start a business like this. I guess the real problem or the bottleneck is that you need to actually have a track record or some experience doing what you want to teach, and you need to be good at it, and you need to be good at teaching it. And this is the step that unfortunately a lot of people skip out on, is that they just teach before they do, or they, pretend to do but don't actually do, and they just teach. That is what it is. And the business of selling information products or digital products through something like YouTube channel, it has crazy growth potential, particularly if you scale with paid advertising, like you've probably seen on the ads everywhere, which I haven't done yet. What I don't like about this business is that it is actually more like a job. It's really a source of income. Whereas an Amazon business, like I described before, you can sell that thing later on, and it becomes more and more passive over time. With YouTube, with content creation, you're still the one creating the content. And so while it can pay you really well and pay, if you let it grow over time, it'll pay you really well. You still got to be there in the driver's seat, basically. So I don't think there's any way I could sell this, and so there's no residual value later on. That's okay, because there's nothing wrong with having an income stream that's actually just an income stream. The only other thing is that selling courses in general has a bit of a bad reputation, but that's okay, because I truly believe that I can come in there and do a better job and do it in a positive way as well. And other than that, there isn't much to not like about this income source. It really is great. And probably this is where most of my focused efforts are going right now. Rather than into YouTube to making these videos, or rather than into my Amazon business, I'm actually putting a lot of focused effort into my students and into making more content back in the training program. And I'm happy with that balance right now, because I do definitely enjoy helping a smaller, tighter knit group of core people who are committed to making that change. Because really, we're doing this for connections. We're doing this for relationships. Money isn't money unless you turn it into something positive in that way. Speaking of positivity, one thing that I've had to learn in the process of doing this was to get myself out there and be more comfortable with actually selling. So I used to be a lot more timid, but now I've learned that if it's something that I believe in, if I believe it can make transformation and a change in your life, then I almost have an obligation and a right to stand up and stand proud and say, hey, this is worth buying. You should buy this, which you should, by the way. With that said, I don't believe in being dishonest, definitely not. And I definitely don't agree with a lot of the shady marketing tactics that unfortunately are being used a lot today in the make money online niche, where, people are just outrightly falsifying things, or in a lot more cases, they are kind of making a lie implicit rather than explicit, so it's not exactly a lie. So that's a bit sad. Clearly, it's worked for enough of the big people that the copycats have sort of latched onto those techniques as well. And yeah, I don't really like that, but let's move on to something positive. The last thing that I've learned from doing all of this has been the value of building a brand. That means building trust and loyalty with real people who actually keep coming back to you because of who you are, or what you stand for, or your story, or your message. That's something that I probably never would have learned if I had just been selling on Amazon alone. And it is probably the single most valuable business related or income generating related lesson that I've ever learned. And I actually look forward to starting some other brand in the future, whether it's a physical products business on Amazon or off Amazon, or some other kind of physical business, and putting that knowledge about brand building into practice, because I think it's super valuable. So that's my fourth and second biggest source of income, my Amazon training program. So let's talk about source number 5. These are my financial investments. So I'm lumping a mixture of stuff in here. It's like superannuation, shares, ETFs. Recently, I got involved with some real estate as well. And to be honest, most of these investments are aimed towards long-term appreciation rather than generating income. And they don't generate much income. So all up, I'm going to call it $1,000 per month. And that is being nice and rounding it up. But I'm not pretending to be an expert in the area of financial investments. And I don't need to be, because after it's all said and done, after everything that I've learned and everything that I've done building up these 5 income sources, I know that the most valuable single skill that I've actually learned how to do is to add value to people's lives, to make people's lives better. And in whatever form that takes, whether it's selling products on Amazon, whether it is, launching YouTube videos, whether it's doing an Amazon training program or any other kind of digital product, whatever it is, with that skill set and mindset in my pocket, knowing that it's all about adding value to people's lives, making their lives better, I don't really feel much of a need for investment income, particularly not now, because I know that I can laser down into a niche. I can identify hidden opportunities. Where is that value not already being delivered? And then I can work out ways to deliver that value and then execute on that. And that's a business idea. And when you know how to do that, I can tell you that you're not going to have any problem generating income sources. That's what I wanted to leave you with. Thank you so much for being a part of this journey with me. If I've added value to your life with this video, then make sure to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and click the notification bell so that you get more of these as they come out. That is how I generated my 5 income sources that make me $68,000 per month. If you're looking at creating an income stream through Amazon FBA, like I've been able to do, then check out this video to get started immediately. You can also check out the links in the description down below for free training and some other info. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.